like it because it looks like you're the proper guest now.
Yeah, so I literally just realized I've had this book for a year because I was like, ooh, it's a Greek play. That's awesome. And it's like pretty something I can leave on my like thingy coffee table. I've never cracked the spine. This spine has literally never been cracked.
Oh, I think we're streaming now.
Oh, yeah, we are.
I was just checking the things and I'm like, oh no, we are.
We are streaming.
Awesome. Woohoo!
But,
hello.
It's so pretty.
Which book? Show me again. I was looking at the streams.
So
ooh,
this
that's
is the
pretty.
cover, and it has gold gilding.
Is it a notebook?
It is not. It is. Oh, here's the inside of it.
It just looks red.
It is, but it is. What is it? Orestia, and it's actually a limited edition. And like,
ooh.
Let's see. It actually has the nice little pattern there on all the pages. Something just fell out. Not sure what. Ha! Notes from the editors. I didn't even know this was in here.
Wow.
But
that's so cool. No introduction whatsoever, picture. Like life. Nice. Like, wow, that looks like it's like charcoal.
Like, this is beautiful, and I'm so happy I picked it up.
That's so nice. That looks like some of the notebooks that I've been looking at on Amazon, except I don't like that color.
That's fair.
But just like the style.
I also picked up a really pretty copy of the Iliad and the Odyssey to leave out, which also has the gilding, because I was like, these two on a like coffee table or something would be really pretty.
Yes.
But I realized
I do not have a coffee table, so now I am jealous.
And this one has
we should have the chat
boop, 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 in the middle. Well,
very pretty. Oh wow! Like, did you share the pictures of these on the server?
Maybe last year.
I feel like you did.
I feel like I did last year, but I never like opened them up. I also have the Emily Wilson translation of the Odyssey, which like chef's kiss. I'm waiting for the Iliad, and I feel like it's on her website of like, when are you doing the Iliad? And she's like, I'm getting to it.
Probably in the works and going through like 4 rounds of editing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you drinking?
I have water because I am a basic bitch.
I have coconut water, and then I have tea that I should drink quickly because I'm not supposed to have caffeine after like 7 or 8. Oops. Okay, so hello everybody. I am Hellenic Herald. I don't even know to see. Here we go. Okay. And this is Be the Hellenist Witch. And that's it. Now you have to do your introduction again.
I have to introduce myself.
Yes, it's not. I mean, it is my job, but I'm making tea.
Yeah, I know. That's fair. So hi, I am B. Full name's Brianna, but B's fine. Just don't call me Bri.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Learning new things. Just don't call me Bri, and we're all good. And I've been a Hellenist for about 5 years now, maybe.
Or are we doing that? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It's been
time.
Quite a few years, and I've been a witch since the start of undergrad, which I think is like 6 years ago now. So that's fun. It's too late in the day for me to do math. But I do a lot of divination stuff. I'm a music nerd, so that's
me. I was just, it's TikTok's fault that I'm even witchy at all. It's TikTok's fault entirely. I didn't know I was doing the witchy things. I found out I was doing the witchy things, and then I was like, oh.
Just take TikTok.
So much stuff from my childhood makes sense now.
It really does. But like, take TikTok with the biggest grain of salt.
Oh, yes. It is mostly for entertainment purposes only. I'm not saying I have a money plate now, but I'm not saying I don't.
One day, I'm like, I want to start like a Hellenism 101 on TikTok just so it's there.
Oh, yeah.
But
We should
like,
do it. I mean, also we're gonna talk about that anyway.
Yeah.
But
Did
do
you
we
put
want to
the
show
thing
off?
in the server? Ha, yes you did. I just missed it
did.
somehow. Somehow I missed it.
Only in our server. He'll be fine. I guess I
literally
should
have
probably
everything
post it.
collapsed, but it didn't like light up for me for some reason.
I guess I should go to our other
Oh,
friends
because
and tell
it's not
them
Twitch.
that we're doing a thing.
Probably.
Finding the promo channels in other people's servers is so much harder for me, though.
As long as there's a server map, it is okay.
Oh my
But-
god, they have a server map, and I completely forgot that they did. Thank you.
Server maps are the most glorious thing in Discord, especially once you get just ridiculously long, like large and long channel lists.
Yes.
They are needed.
I need to find the word promo. We were going to show off our calendars.
Yeah. I pulled that out from under a stack of books.
Mine's in the back. I have to actually physically go get it.
Oh, I forgot my auto book.
Because, I hung it up.
I got mine in the mail like 2 days ago, so I have not hung mine yet.
I haven't sent the artist her copy yet. I'm a bad person.
I just realized I pulled a bunch of books to like show off my collection if we wanted to do that, and I forgot my auto book, which is literally on my nightstand.
I just threw a bunch of books behind me. My bookshelf. I had a mirror behind my bookshelf in the living room, and it cracked. So literally, yesterday, we took all the books down, and they're currently in milk crates. And so that we could move the. Are you okay?
I have a puppy that wants to say hi.
Hello, fur baby.
This is Daisy. She is apparently needing attention.
I mean, look at her fur. Of course, she's like a beautiful baby.
She really is.
Yeah. So I just grabbed like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I brought them.
My auto book. I have it. It's on my nightstand because I'm currently reading it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not get the reflection in here, but it's hard. Okay,
It's hard.
So I have our calendar, the Hellenic Herald 2022, which is our first calendar ever. And I made it out of pure selfishness. I want everyone to know that. I just happened to be giving it away, and I wanted us to have, as a community, a modern devotional calendar, and I just wanted it. So then I just made it, and then I
Yeah.
gave it to everyone else, which has our cool. We're not in Hera's month. We're finished with Hera. Sorry, hon. We're in Aphrodite's month now, so it has. And everyone can get this calendar. You can download it from the Hellenic Herald website. I'll throw it in the links. And so it just has some basic information, some devotional acts, and just a prayer or a hymn. It's just very simple. And we have the full moon and all the days and stuff.
Love that.
And of course, credit to the artist Novocaine Art, which is on the back. So lots of love. And I'll put it in the links. I'll just do the links.
That works.
Because I'm lazy.
So I just got this one in the mail 2 days ago. But it's a Leokai's, which is stunning.
Very bright and colorful. And
it is. I'm trying to not get the reflection, but my lamp is literally right behind my thingy.
Yeah.
So, but props to the artist, honestly. And
I do like the comics style.
It's a really just fun calendar. It's not going to appeal to everyone, but I think if you like this kind of art style, go for it. There isn't a ton of information like a hymn or something like yours has, but it has the basic, what Greek month corresponds to the Gregorian calendar. It has the moon phases,
The
and
stuff you need on the day-to-day. I don't have the moon phases.
Exactly.
I just have the new moon because I was
this
lazy.
one has the
Oh
full
no,
moon.
the full moon. Sorry.
I know this one has the full moon. I
Everyone
do
does
not
the full
see.
moon. That's what I have. The full moon.
Yeah,
not the
I
new
don't
moon.
see.
I lied.
I mean, I guess the new moon would be pneumonia, or however you say
Pneumonia.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, I say pneumonia. I don't know if that's the rash. Is what I
It
say.
is beyond 10 o'clock at night for me, so we're going. But I do kind of like that. Let's see. The festival days have a nice laurel wreath on it.
I love that. Actually, I saw it the other day, and I was like a picture, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so nice! That's such a great way to."
I actually just like see it really quick on.
Yeah, really clearly, like if that's the day or not. Yeah.
I actually forgot to do the Kickstarter, so as soon as they put
Oh,
up
I actually
the,
know. I actually have it.
Yeah, there's an Etsy link that went out, and I was told I was the first order from that link because I went.
Oh.
Yeah, Etsy knows me very well. Let's just say that. I blame the Hellenic handmaid who has a new pink bowl coming out and a black and gold bowl coming out, which like take my money, please. I have like
I'm trying
two
to
of the
find
bowls here. I think I have two of the offering bowls sitting here because I put my pendulums in them. So when I'm not like actually doing an offering, my pendulums go in them. Because I'm like, this pendulum is for you,
awesome.
Dio. Your pendulum's going in there.
I'm trying to find it. I literally was on this page like yesterday.
Hellenic handmaid?
No, the calendar. I'm trying to get all the links. I know I had it. I'll find it.
It's somewhere. So yeah.
I know.
I really like.
Oh wait, I know where it is.
I found it. Looking through it, I just did a quick glance through this calendar when I opened it. I really like it so far. So I think I'm gonna go back and forth between the one you made and this one and see pros and cons of each.
Are we doing a calendar review?
Oh, I don't know. I like both calendars for different reasons. So.
Oh, hold up yours. It'll be a great screen cap. I'm gonna press the button. I hope that worked. Well, we had that list of questions.
We do. Let me.
I don't want to submit to the calendar review. I know it's not great. It was.
You
I did it for me, guys. That's why I said like I did it for me. Like it just so happened that other people liked it. Like.
It's your first calendar, and as you use this calendar, you're gonna figure out what you like for next year if you want to do it again. So
yeah, and also our friends at Ariason Icateria, Jesus, EI, they're Callisto, who runs it, actually also made a calendar, but it is an Attic calendar, not Gregorian based.
See, I need the blending because my brain does not compute.
Yeah, me either. It was very cool though. It is very cool. So it's out there as well.
Yeah.
And then I found another calendar recently, which I also thought was really cool. So there was a Reddit post that I sent to Brianna.
Yep.
I'm just gonna call
I answered to both, but yeah, B works.
And it was just this newbie Hellenic polytheist person who just had a bunch of questions.
So many questions.
So there was
I think there's like 20 questions that they put.
Well, there was two sections of questions. One of them was the life impact questions, and one of them was, I think, was the practice questions.
Yes.
Like your personal practice. Mm-hmm. And we decided, as we chatted for about an hour before we got on, that we're not going to do the basic like Hellenism 101 questions because so many amazing people have done so many amazing videos on that with great information, a lot of which you can find in our Discord in the resources section. Plug. We thought the life impact questions were cooler.
Yeah, and something I don't think a lot of people talk about. There's a lot of the practical, this is how I set up my altar, and this is how I like to give offerings and all that. But not like, how did you deal with telling your parents, or like, how do you go about telling a romantic or partner or potential romantic partner what your religious practice is, because it's kind of a small religion in global terms. So I thought that'd be kind of cool.
I think that's super cool. I love the idea. Okay, I think we should alternate on asking and answering the question first.
Let's do that.
Okay. And there's actually a question here that I think you said that isn't on the list, which is, it was like, how do you tell your family, right? Or is that lower down maybe?
Let's see. I know there's, what should I do?
There's one that
they won't accept.
If they don't accept it, yeah. And I just want to start with, so I'm just going to start with that one, and then you take the actual first question that's there.
All right,
because
that sounds good.
I have a great story to answer that question.
Ooh.
So the question is, which I'm going to put in the chat here just so I can put on the bottom here. How did you tell your family? Should we do family and friends or just family?
Family / friends. That's what I would do.
Hellenist. So there we go. I'll put it on there. I'm going to put it in the... I'm going to show the question down here. How did you tell your family? Oh, this looks so nice. Oh, well, maybe I might pay for the premium one. So, how did you tell your family and friends that you were a Hellenist? So, Vegan the Gamer, who's on the server, is my little brother. And his name is Vegan. And bless this child. He was basically mine because he was born when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
1 second. I'm a very brutally honest person for some very specific trauma related reasons. So, and I mean, that doesn't mean I won't lie. I will, but I hate lying to this child. I hate lying to him. And so years ago, we're in the living room. My parents are in the other room in like the dining room area of the kitchen that they turned into the office. And my little brother goes, and he's already like interested in like Yu-Gi-Oh! So he got into like the Egyptian pantheon for a bit, but not like religiously. So they were already like, and just to elaborate, my parents are Christian. My father is technically a reverend. And my brother is atheist, my twin brother. I have 2 brothers. So, and he enjoyed that bit, and they were not thrilled about the idea that even one of their children would not be Christian. Nonetheless, 2 going on 3. So, I had not really said anything. Like, it was kind of like I had never really like come out of the closet, so to say, on that one. And this child goes to me, and he just looks at me and he says the Armenian word for sister. He goes, Kukurik. And I'm like, yes. And he's like, what's your religion? And I was like, well, let's go. Like, just have at it. And I just go, well, I'm a pagan polytheist. And I think I told him both. And he was like, and he's like, I know polytheists because he known about the Egyptian pantheon, the Greek pantheon, like all that, through like books and stuff, Percy Jackson, whatnot.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. And so he's like, what's pagan? I'm like, well, it's just a broad term that means, what's not popular at the moment, like the popular religions and the other people. And he's like, okay, so what does that mean? And I was like, well, I specifically worship the Greek pantheon. And he's like, oh, so like Zeus and stuff. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just like, are they going to come out and say something? And then later on, my mother told me that she had forgotten way later what it was. And so she went to vegan and she asked him what my religion was. And he goes, I mean, like months, maybe like a year later, he goes, she worships the Greek pantheon. I was like, did he say pantheon? Like, did he remember? Oh,
That's actually really sweet.
I know. And like, Julie, no, he was not even a teenager at this time. Like, maybe he was a tween. And I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And so that's how my family found out through listening through the walls. kind of like Bruno from Encanto.
Oh, that's funny.
So there's my story, how I told my family. And recently I've had a few conversations with my father, which weren't really conversations, more statements of this is a thing now, because now he knows, like, because vegan's on the server, my brother's on the server, and I've told him about my server and the website and like all that stuff. And I'm like, I think I've had to tell him 3 times before he's actually done anything that showed support and like acceptance, which was my Christmas gift, which I nearly cried. It was just a notebook, but I was like, this was on my Greek list. I know that you went on it. And I basically told him, I was like, look, this is a thing now. Like, I'm religious now, so you're just gonna have to get used to it, because we can't like not talk about this. This is a big thing in my life right now. So, to which it went fairly well.
That's good.
So now everyone's like up on the up and up, so to say. Have you told your family?
I have. Well, not explicitly. Like, I have. I think yes, I have actually. My immediate family, not my extended family, but like my parents, my sister. Nice. And I think that's fair. Mainly because my grandparents are in their 70s, and I don't need them having heart attacks.
Oh, I did tell my grandma.
It hasn't come up yet. So I'm the kind of person that I'm not going to go around like shouting at everything. Are you giving me a high five?
No. I am.
Or are you trying to get it to focus?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. I just noticed it was fuzzy and it was annoying me.
So if someone asks me, I'm not going to lie about it, but I'm not going to like shout from the rooftops like, hello, I'm a weirdo, you know?
We're not weird, we're just different.
We're different. It's a phase. It's not a phase.
It's not a phase. I've got 4 altars in my house.
So like it's come up sometimes. I did a huge road trip with my family last year because it was fun. I was remote for grad school, so we're like, load up the car and let's just go for a few months. And I think it was like 3-4 months. And along the way, it kind of like came out because I was just doing little things. But my parents saw me like out in nature and stuff. Like we were at Devil's Tower National Monument, which if anyone here ever gets to go. It is amazing. Ooh. I went and I like climbed up on a rock where like it was okay to do so. And I just sat and I meditated. And I wanted to be respectful to like the land spirits there because it's native land. But I was like, I don't know what name to call you, so I'm just gonna call you nature spirits. But like, I just said like, thank you for being here, and like I just appreciated them. And my dad took a picture and sent it to my mom and was like, I mean, look at her, like she's happy, she is healthy, like we might not understand it fully, but she's happy. So like,
Yeah.
can we really ask for more? So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. My mom and my sister, I didn't know this, but they went to a farmer's market or a book, and that there was like a book sale kind of thing around there, and they got 2 books about Greek mythology for me, which is great because one, religion, 2,
Aw.
my research is like intertwined with mythology and everything. So like they're showing support in smaller ways, and sometimes they're just like, I do not understand. But over time, it's been like the wall's been broken down. Just like just little chunks.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, first they have to accept that there's this thing that exists that they didn't know about.
Yeah, because everyone's like, "Oh, pagans, they don't exist anymore," and then we're like, "Hello."
Well, I mean, especially for Greek, for Hellenic religion, because they know a lot of people know it as Greek mythology. So first they have to kind of accept that Greek mythology is actually like religion, and then they have to be like, oh, this is a religion that's not mine.
Yeah, because
and then they have to let go of that image of you that they had in their head, that is
exactly
you living as this religion that is theirs, and understand that it is not a personal attack or a devaluing or anything of their religion. It's just different.
Exactly. The same thing has happened with my witchcraft practice. Like that actually came first, where like tarot. My mom did not understand tarot, and then she was like, "Hey, can you like sit down with me and explain to me one why you have an ungodly number of decks?" And oh wait, I can't hear you.
Sorry, not that while you believe it, like while you use, not like that you. Why is this a thing for you? But why do you have so many?
Yeah, like it was a combination of like, why do you have so many? What does it actually mean? Like, what are they used for? Because like she's a child of the 80s. Like to her, tarot is like fortune telling. So
That's the
kind of
same with my mom too.
Yeah, it's.
I don't tell her I do tarot. If I told her, she'd ask me to read her, and I'm like, I cannot do that.
My mom.
There will be some messages that you don't want.
My mom, like before the road trip, she was like, "Hey, pull out a deck and be like, should we do this in an RV or our truck? You know, like
that's great. I love it.
Like she's shown small support, and the funny thing is, she oftentimes will be like, "You don't need any more like divination things," and then she'll be like, "Oh, hey." I know you're outside with the dogs, but like the lady in this really small bookstore had this tarot deck and was like, "This thing has been flying off the shelves. Do you want it?" And she like ran out. That was actually funny. I think
awesome.
We were in Arizona. I think it was the Southwest. I know. I want to say it was Arizona. And she literally ran out and was like, "I know you're with the dogs, but we have this one here." And I'm like, "Just put it behind the counter and I will go look."
That's awesome.
Or like my mom has been starting her own small collection of crystals, and I'm just like,
I know everyone loves crystals. You can always get them
always.
to be accepting of crystals.
Yes. And you know, she'll be like, "So what does this one do? How about this one?" She'll be like we would go to as many like witchy and like crystal stores as possible on this road trip. I was like, my souvenirs are crystals and tarot decks because they'll remind me of the trip more than like a t-shirt.
I actually went to the Grand Canyon and got 2 crystals, one of which is here.
Ooh. Ooh, love that.
I don't know what it is, so if anyone knows what it is, it's like, I don't know.
It kind of looks like sodalite.
I know I looked it up, and I know that it's good for brain stuff. And then I immediately forgot.
That might be lapis lazuli.
That's it. That's the one.
I have some too. That is my crystal for Athena.
This is why I say always to people that I don't know anything, because I will learn it for that minute and then forget it.
I got this one, which is desert rose selenite.
Ooh.
But I got this one when I was in the Southwest. Also, when I was in Sedona, a crystal store had like little pieces of red rock from Sedona. So I got a little
Yeah.
piece for that. Or we went to like Joshua Tree Petrified Forest,
Yeah.
and they actually sold little chunks of petrified wood. So I got
I
that.
want one.
It's so pretty. So crystals to me, I'm like, I can put it in a display and like remember my trip more than like a t-shirt, which will disintegrate in a few years. And my mom
Also,
actually
looks
got her
great in
own
a t-shirt.
That's true.
Despite the fact that we do actually sell t-shirts for Hellenic Herald.
That's true.
But it's just because it's the easiest one. I have options, guys. I just need time.
And my mom got her own pendulum, which like I love pendulums, but she got her own, and I was like, Mom. So like she's like, as she started learning, she started to be more accepting. Or sometimes she'll be like, the energy in the house is weird. Like one time we had like 4 or 5 glass pieces just break in the house, and my mom was like, I know I hate the smell of sage, but please sage this freaking house because something is weird.
Because I hate lavender, but I love sage, and I'm
Really?
it actually makes me feel better. I don't know why, but
sage has like some antibacterial properties.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, my mom like will actively like help me with like a big house cleansing because I'm the one that does it when I'm home. She's like, I'm like, here, Mom, here's the Florida water. Go sprinkle it behind me.
I made a salt bag for my dad and I gave it to him.
That.
I was like, can I like give this to you for your, because he got into an accident. I think he got like 2 accidents. I was like, can I give this to you? And he was like, yeah, don't gossip. Actually, I think I owe my twin brother's girlfriend a salt bag, actually. So I put the other question, the next question in the chat. So it's your go, my friend.
How do I explain to people my faith? So I start by saying I am a Hellenic pagan, and then people go, what the heck is that?
Yes. Do you love that moment of terror that happens in their eyes when you start saying Hellenic?
I have a funny story about it, but that's for later.
Another day.
Actually, there's a what should I do if my friends and family won't accept my faith question, and I have a story for that. So remind me because it's about an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so after they go, what the heck is a Hellenic pagan? I explain I worship the Greek pantheon. They go, oh, Zeus, Hera, all that. I go, yes. Mm-hmm. I say,
it helps that everyone knows the names of our gods are on everyone's tongues.
Exactly.
Say it like that.
But you should know the myths are not gospel. We don't have a gospel. It's a very personal practice.
They asked that, I think, in the questions about practice.
I think they do.
Something like that.
And I'm like,
my boyfriend actually asked me that question. He was like, is this like your Bible? And I was like,
it's like, we don't really have a Bible, so I can't tell you there's an official doctrine. Because this is such a personal practice with so many different paths. We don't have a holy text. It's not there.
Yep.
So it kind of like the conversation can go different ways.
Yeah.
Like some people will dig more and I'll give things like, we have academic research and we build relationships with the gods. And some people will be like, that'll lead to, well, why did you choose this path? And some people will be like, okay, cool, and move on.
Yes.
So I think it really depends
Most
on the
people
person.
with me have been like, okay, cool.
They're like, okay,
whatever.
Cool. Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of the same. Again, it's really easy for the fact that like people know our gods already.
Yeah.
At least some of them.
Yeah.
And it's usually like with the same thing that I did with my little brother. I'm a polytheist, I'm a pagan, I'm a Hellenist, or any combo of thereof. I use all. Option D, all of the above. And Sorry. And then I'll be like, pagan means this, and this it just means, and they're like, huh? You see that? You see the huh?
Mm-hmm.
And
And then
you're
you have
like,
to
Greek and
clarify you're
Roman
not
gods.
Wiccan.
Yeah. I don't even know what that entails. I know that it's a thing. I think it's different from Wicca, and
Wicca is a
just
thing.
it just never I mean, it crossed my path, but like I never went down it, so I
Yeah,
just
same.
don't know.
I know
I
of
actually, my
it.
best friend was a Wiccan. I don't remember.
Mhm.
I found that out recently, for many, many years. And so she went through the whole thing, almost completed it, or whatever it is. She went through a thing.
Mhm.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm just like, oh yeah, Greek and Roman gods. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some people want to know more about how I feel about certain things.
My boyfriend did that. He was like, okay. He's like in the kitchen. I remember this vividly. We were in the kitchen and he was like leaning on the table and he's like, so about your religion. And I was like, yes. And he started asking me questions like the Bible question.
Mhm.
Do we have one? Or some, religious text. And I was like, eh. And then he's like, I don't remember what else he asked me, but it was like a couple more questions. Or he's like, how do you like worship? And like, are they real people? Are the gods real people? Or are the statues the gods now? Or whatever. And I was like, all these questions. And I was like, and then I remember him going like, so you're religious? And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Question mark. I take this very seriously because I'm very casual about it and I make jokes all the time. So, but I do take this seriously. There's my work altar right there. Yeah, I think most people just go like, eh.
Yeah, most people are like, oh, okay.
What have you gotten weird questions?
I haven't gotten really weird questions. I think I've gotten natural questions that are just annoying to answer. Particularly
Yes.
but Zeus is a bad guy.
Oh, I love that one. That's fucking hilarious. There's so many ways to look at that. There just is.
Or like
I'm eating blueberries.
That sounds like a good snack. Or my main deity is Dionysus, and everyone's like, "Oh, so you drink wine all the time?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, I drink more wine than I did. But when I say more wine than I did, I mean like I used to drink a handful of times a year and now maybe I drink once a month.
Exactly. I'm in the same boat.
Or I'm like, I still don't like if someone's like, oh yeah, you love Dionysus, let's go, because Dionysus is also, and that bottles for him. Is also one of my patrons. Although I try to worship them all fairly equally, but like I feel like Dionysus was like, hey, attention. But if someone goes like, let's go bar hopping, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, like I used to date a guy who like I was in a sorority, he was in a fraternity, and he was like the classic frat bro. Like everyone called him a frat god. And so like he would be like, "Oh, let's go partying on these days." And I'm like, "I literally cannot." Like 2 times a month is fun. More than that, I will be grumpy and a pain in the ass. There was one time I had to go to a party and he was doing like a bunch of recruitment stuff with like potential new members and all that. And I was just sick of it. The house was super hot. And I just sat outside under like the smallest awning ever because it was raining. And I just sat down. I fully fell asleep.
Oh.
The funniest thing was one of the brothers was like, "Hey, Brianna, are you okay?" And I just like peeked an eye open.
Like were passed out drunk.
I peeked an eye open and I went, "I'm meditating, asshole," and closed my eyes again and fell asleep again.
Yes.
And my boyfriend, my ex now, but at the time boyfriend was like, "Thank you for falling asleep because you looking so bad and like falling asleep outside let me go home early."
Thanks.
He's like, "You're welcome."
I guess.
I'm like, it's not my fault the house was like 75 degrees.
That's awesome.
No one was to be in that kind of weather. So
Let me see
there
the
are
next
things
one.
where, yeah, people make assumptions about you, and you just need
They
to
do.
know how to go about that. Ooh.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna bring it on screen. Would you say this faith has positively impacted your life, and how or has being pagan made things more difficult?
It's a two-sided coin.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. Yeah. I would say overall for me, I mean I got a partner out of it, so woohoo. I also got a cat. I got a bunch of stuff that I love, and I have a community that I adore, and I have awesome people that I get to talk to, like this awesome person, and amazing people that I got experience. I love it. It's been a hell of a ride, and I've loved most of it. Um, it has made my work a little difficult because the more that I became comfortable and okay with my spirituality, I have a business, and I deal with homeschoolers a lot, which are awesome, and I love the community as well. But there is a strong section of the community that is very aggressively religious, not always Christian, but predominantly Christian. And I don't mean to hate on the Christians. I'm not. I this isn't. It's just aggressive, guys.
I
I
was
went to
homeschooled.
a
I get it.
convention. I was homeschooled too, but I was homeschooled in Rhode Island like
Yeah.
10 years ago. Like, I didn't even know there was a thing like homeschool conventions. 1 second, sorry. And I remember last year going to the convention, especially after 2020, where I wasn't doing as much in with people and shows and things like that, because 2019 I traveled all up and down California. I was doing like 2-3 shows a month, okay? And some of them are 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But I went to a lot of events in 2019, and then nothing really for 2020 but online, which is when Hellenic Herald started. And just going through that and this in 2021 of being predominantly with this community, when I went back in 2021 to my first conference, I think one of the only 2 conferences I went to, and did my shows, it was very aggressive, and I felt very attacked and lonely. And I just remember going to like the only people I knew there being like, hold me. I can't say anything, and it hurts. And I didn't, not like I wanted to start a fight or anything like that, but like people do come to you and they ask you personal questions at shows, and it's really hard. And I've actually had to tell people, I'm sorry, I physically cannot discuss this with you because it's in my contract to be a vendor here, that I can't. It's a Christian show, which is fine. I agreed to that. But I cannot discuss religion with you because those are the rules. And honestly, I've had more of a positive response on that from people being like, that's terrible. And like, I would never want you to not be able to discuss like your religion, like, even if
Yeah.
it's different. And I'm like, I appreciate that, but I still can't discuss this with you.
Yeah.
So it's been mostly positive, but that has made that hard.
Yeah. I totally
How
get
about
that.
you?
Overall, it's pretty good. I am
Yes.
very single Pringle, so it makes dating a little hard. Look, I have been single since May of 2020. I haven't gone on any dates or
Bad year
anything
to
because
get
of
single.
the pandemic. It was a ride to get there too. And I just like, I wasn't on Tinder or anything. Oh,
Hi, Callisto.
hello. And just I didn't feel like dating because of the pandemic, and like I was in Florida for most of the pandemic, and Florida is a free for all in terms of the pandemic. So I was like, I'm not going on dates.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
before that, so in undergrad, uh most people were okay with it. And I went to college in Alabama.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so most people were okay with it. Most of my friends were. There was one person that wasn't. And I dated this guy from November, December-ish of
Oof.
2019 to end of April, I want to say, of 2020.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was Southern Baptist. One of the questions was, "Are you religious?" I said, "Well, I am." He didn't go past that. And I was like, it's going to be a point of convention.
Assumptions were made.
Yes, assumptions were very much made. But in Alabama, it's kind of expected. He didn't ask for a clarifier like, "Oh, what's your denomination?" or anything like that. He just went with it. I was like, "You're Christian,
people,
okay."
Yeah, people just assume that you're like, which is a fair assumption.
It's a fair assumption in Alabama, to be honest. And we got talking about it because he was like, would you be open to going to a worship service with me? Because I was just like, I'm not Christian, but I'm religious. And he was like, would you be open to going to a service? I'm like, yeah, I love group worship. And we went to a service, which was fine. It was, to the rest of the country, extremely Southern Baptist. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Sorry.
does happen. I'm sorry.
I think it's human nature to just assume that other people are like us.
I think so.
Because and which is fair also, because we don't get to walk through the world in other people's perspectives at all. So
exactly.
We just have our information. So when we come across information, like we said earlier, when it's like myths equals religion, they're like, what? So I feel like it's. I'm sorry though.
I know. It's been kind of sad. Anyway.
Sorry. So you were saying you went to a service.
Yeah, and we got food afterwards, and we got talking about religion, and I opened it up, and you could tell the gears in his brain processing it. Like the hamsters were working really freaking hard, and I felt kind of bad.
Yeah, poor baby.
To me, all gods exist in some capacity. Whether I worship them or not, that's fine. But they exist in some capacity because people worship them and have meaningful connections with them.
I think they live in a cul-de-sac.
I totally think they do. And he was not happy because I would make jokes that Dionysus and Jesus were up there drinking wine and chilling. I fully made that joke, and he was like, "That's blasphemous." And
what do you think gods do? Do you think they're on our ass all the time? I'm just saying, if that was me, I would have some fun.
Yeah. So I would make a bunch of jokes like that, and I was reading the Bible to understand more, because I grew up in a Christian household, but I never read the Bible. So I was like, I'm open to reading the Bible. And I guess he thought that
I think I read half.
I guess he thought by me being willing to learn about his religion that I would one day convert. And I'm like, that's not how that works, dude.
Assumptions are never good.
Yeah. So needless to say, that didn't work out for reasons.
But that's so sweet. You were trying to learn more about his religion.
It was. The rest of the story needs to come when we talk about what happens when they don't accept your faith, because that breakup was a roller coaster.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It is what it is.
I love you.
I learned a lot, but that was really the only time that I've had someone vehemently just be like, I do not agree with this. I cannot be around you because of it.
Yeah.
And part of that is just the Southern Baptist mentality that because I don't believe in the Christian God, my soul is
that was a question I got from my little brother, but that might be a question for another day, because he literally came to me and he's like, I don't want you to go to hell. And I'm like, oh my god.
That's actually on this list.
Oh, it is?
It is.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there.
We'll get there eventually.
It's the last one on this list.
I feel like these questions are out of order.
They kind of are, but like I just went in the order they were asked.
No, I love it. It was like brain rambling from like a bebe Hellenist, and I love it.
It was.
So.
I just needed to space it out.
And Callisto, I'm sure you're very stylish.
I think so.
I'm sure it's done amazingly.
I'm sure it is.
Did you have other things you wanted to comment on that before we go to the next question?
No, I think I've really only had one like bad experience. Everything else has been super positive, or just like someone not really caring because it didn't impact them.
I feel like once you find your home, it hits different. Like things hit different. I am a vastly different person than I was prior to 2020.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hold on, let me just shut my camera off for a second so it can not make me like look like there's Vaseline on the. Oh, I hate you.
You need a new camera soon.
This is the best camera on the market.
Like so sad.
This is the best webcam on the market. Webcam.
Oh,
I don't have like a real camera at my boyfriend's house. He has a real camera, but this is one of the best webcams. It's the Logitech Brio.
Oh, that is a really good camera.
It is one of the best ones on the market, and it's ridiculous and fucking sad that this is the best that's out there. Ew.
I should be getting my new computer beginning of March, so like I'm hoping the webcam quality is really good.
You need to get Steam, and we need to play Among Us and Hades. We can't play Hades is single. You can't play multiplayer, but we can play Among Us.
But I can join Minecraft server now. So.
Yes.
I'm waiting because my old computer is like it's a 2015, but like soon, a few more weeks.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, next question.
I think we have time for maybe like one or two more questions because I gotta bounce at like 8:30, so like in a half hour. I have no idea whose turn it is.
We've just
I think it's yours. I don't know.
How did you figure out what form best fit me? I've kind of just made my own path. Like, I am aware.
I gave it to you so I could go get water for tea.
I am aware that there are so many different paths. And for me, I am a historically aware practitioner. I research this stuff. I know about it. I can read the scholarly articles. I don't want to. I really don't want to. But I'm aware of it.
I don't want to either.
I don't want to. I do it enough for my master's thesis. So for me, it's whatever worship works best. Sometimes that is literally just like sitting a cup of water on my altar and being like, this is all I got for you today. It's my best. So I say a little prayer like, thanks for being awesome.
That, and that's doing something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's the best, like the craziest thing. Like that's perfect.
Or like if it's raining, I'll just run outside on my balcony and be like, hi, Zeus. It's really cold. Bye, Zeus. I have straight up done that. And like
it's the best. It's like a prayer drive-by. Drive-by worship.
Look, when it's freezing rain, I'm just like, hi, Zeus. Thanks for giving me some rain to remind me of Florida, but it's freaking cold in the north, so bye.
Oh my God, I'm literally going to die laughing on this. I'm going to make a t-shirt that has a car and like in front of Zeus, and it's going to be called Drive-By Worship. With like the prayer symbol like being chucked out the window. I told everyone like 6 months ago I was going to get a Zeus making Pikachu, and it happened. And it was a birthday present, which is even better. And it's gonna happen.
Please do that.
Drive-by worship.
I will absolutely do that because it's funny, right? And it's very casual. And being that casual is not for everyone. But for me, if I don't do it when I'm thinking about it, it's not going to happen.
I think that's right there. Am I on now? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I think that's it right there. It's sometimes doing something in the moment is better than nothing if you know that you may not have the spoons, the energy, or the brain.
Exactly. And
Um,
one thing I learned on the road is because I was going out into a bunch of national parks and I was in nature, that like just appreciating that and like feeling the connection of divinity literally around us.
Can I do this? Can I do the Christian thing? Like, yeah.
Like feeling
We should do it like this.
divinity.
Oh, that's it. Hold on. This is the pagan version of that. Yes, sister. Yes.
Like feeling divinity around us in mundane things, whether that is getting a shower, making food. I will fully dedicate making a meal to Hestia because otherwise I will forget. Or cleaning my house.
Yes.
That is devoted to
Oh,
Hestia because I hate cleaning, but if I do it for her, I'm gonna do it. So doing things like that to me
I
mean
think that's
more.
called using your religion to like circumvent your procrastination.
I mean, that's possible. But you know what? It works for me. And I think that's okay. I mean, I will do a ritual. I have done full rituals and like done like big meditations and all of that. And it's a lot of energy. And I think to
So
make
much work.
it is. And for like big festivals or something that I want to honor, that's great. But for every day, I cannot do a big ritual. I can't. So I'm
I think
making
it's
it
also
accessible to
impractical in
me.
this day and age. Because, you know, we have to remember in the historically noted of things, in civilizations, I actually mentioned this to my husband today. When the sun went down, a lot less work got done. So
Yeah.
they had some time to kill.
Yeah.
Um,
Like we
and
have
worship and
electricity
meditate
and
and yeah,
yeah.
which
Like
allows us to have a 24-hour lifestyle.
exactly, which is good and bad. Uh but I've learned that by appreciating the small things, I think it has built up my relationship with the gods in a way that only doing the big things could do.
And that's a way that's authentic to you.
Exactly. Like
I feel that too. So I think you are technically classified as revivalists.
I think
Um,
so. That
yeah,
sounds right.
I'm only really recently getting that stuck in my head. I also don't really have a thing. I know that my thing is very different from a lot of people's thing. Um, but I will say similarly, yeah, like I literally have a tiny like teacup thing that was probably made for Turkish coffee, to be honest. Um, that is on my altar that when I make my morning tea, most of the time now,
Mhm.
I pour them a cup of tea too. And most of the time, I will also forget to remove that cup until about 3 days later, where it looks like a science experiment. Um, by then, I assume they've had their fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, well, yes, Calista, because I mean, you know me. How many times have I asked? I know I've asked you, B. I'm like, am I a reconstructionist or a revivalist? I can't remember because I didn't pick one. I
Yeah.
just did it. And I will be the first to tell people that I know nothing. Half the time, I think I say it on almost every stream. I
I
know
think
nothing
so.
because I literally grab the information and then about 50% is chucked out. Because of my spazzy brain, in the sense that there's like a lot in here and there's just not enough room, which is why I take notes and I have tabs and I pin things that you guys post, and because I will 100% forget um every bit. I know we have 2 holidays this month. One of them that's not like a regular holiday because
Yeah.
we have so many regular holidays.
Hmm.
Exactly. The terms exactly. They barely even matter. It's just a matter of like, and here's I think I even said this on the server today, in the controversy section, if I recall correctly, that sometimes we just use labels because they make us feel better. And it doesn't really matter what the fuck the label is.
That's very true.
And so it's just to be like, mine is different from yours. I'm very modern. Like, y'all know, I play video games. I mean, we talked about it, playing video
Yeah.
games with the gods. Half the time, most of my worship, if you're looking on like a daily, I agree too. I think I think that's to do with a lot of things, Callisto. I'm gonna pin this for like 5 seconds. I think so. I've really gotten into Stoicism because my boyfriend's really into Stoicism,
Mhm.
and there's a lot about the ego. And
Yeah.
it was really funny because I know Callisto and I talked about the ego on a lot of things for other things. Doesn't matter what, but like we were talking about that a bunch, and it really, like these are the two books that I'm reading right now. Like, also this is why I don't remember everything because I put tabs on it, and the tabs are labeled. So like I have a quip about anxiety here that is all negativity is caused by an accumulation of psychological time and denial of the present. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, worry, all forms of fear are caused by too much future, not enough present, blah 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 blah. Point being, I have them tabbed, just in case, as the joke exists from my boyfriend that I decide to do a sermon. And then like the Daily Stoic Journal, and a lot of that is, and a lot of this, both of these books are like, fuck your ego. You're not going to be some big, crazy, like awesome celebrity one day. And if you are, then like, what are you going to do? Spend your entire life thinking about that's who you are and not actually ever get there?
Yeah.
Fuck ego. And my last name does mean humble, actually. I'm not saying I'm humble. I'm just saying that like I do have like a predisposition to like maybe go toward that side a little bit, or at least try to. But exactly. It's just labels. I I literally spend most of my practice like nodding at my altar. Like I just walk by and I'm like, boop, like touch it, or like just, hey, sup guys. But as some of you may have seen in the recent festivals that were done in person, I show up and I am decked out. I like put on put on a formal dress. I already have my outfit planned for the Aphrodite
Ooh.
ritual, and it's pink
The
and it's flowy.
front door.
It's gonna, and if I get a chance, I'll do some TikToks as Aphrodite. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I love the videos. My chosen Hellenized name literally means Callisto of the Splendor. Very nice. Well, because you are a splendor. That's why.
You are.
But yeah, I just started doing shit, and that's how I like similarly discovered. I was like, oh, I'm doing witchy shit. I should probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for me, at first I got trapped in the how do I do things, and then I found the recon versus revivalist debate, and I was like, in the long run, this doesn't matter. Like on my deathbed, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I wasn't the perfect recon, I wasn't the perfect revivalist. Like that doesn't matter. What matters is my connection
Also, we're
to
puny
divinity.
mortals.
We really are.
Exactly.
So
Your
like,
connection to divinity.
if a label stops me from
And
worshiping,
oh, sorry, I'm gonna add one more
the
thing.
label.
And being the best you that you can be to honor their gods, because if we believe that we are their children or their creation or whatever, we're theirs now somehow. Don't you want to be the most shining of bestest person that you can be? Not like the perfect, but like I'm sorry guys, I watched Encanto. Spoilers. Although the video's been out on YouTube forever, the perfect sister, I can't remember her name now. But she's like, I'm gonna make,
Isabella.
yeah, she's like, I'm gonna make
Mhm.
flowers, and then she's like, oh, I can make other things. I love that they mentioned carnivorous plants, by the way.
I did too.
And then she's like, this is the best me I can be. Like, we were given this family, this divine family. Don't you want to like honor them?
Mhm.
Anyway, that's just me. Honestly, I feel like
So
yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. I don't do jack diddly crap historically for the most part.
that is what I think it is supposed to be, but a lot of people have taken it to an extreme. And
Yes.
I think that's where the issue comes from. Like using the label to be like, I have things that are more historically based, whereas I have more modern worship.
And
That's
that
fine.
historically based equals better.
Yeah.
And
The problem is that I have
but it's
seen
applaudable.
I've seen a lot of recons be like, well, I do one big ritual a month, but it's better than your daily worship because mine is historically accurate. And like that's the attitude that gets people
I have
in
a
trouble.
response. I don't care. You think that yours is great. That's awesome because it is great because it's you. It's authentic to you. And it's your practice and your relationship with the gods. And mine is mine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come to your house. If I come to your house for a ritual and we do it a different way, that's because it's your house.
Yeah.
If you come to my house for a ritual, oh, I gotta sleep. It's okay. It's being recorded. Okay. You can come back later, my lovely, amazing person. We kind of didn't tell anyone until the last minute, so.
Yeah, we didn't.
Our fault. But I was like, we'll just try it out first, and then I'll start being like advertising.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming. Lots of love.
You.
And may the gods provide you with restful sleep, so that you awake tomorrow being the baddest bitch that you can be.
And pleasant dreams.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, so we went way off that one. What drew you to Hellenism?
Ooh.
And why did you become a Hellenic polytheist?
That's a big question.
Those are like two really separate and interesting. Like, why? I guess it's why. What drew you to Hellenism, and then why did you decide that yes, I'm going to do this? I'm letting you go first.
For me, I was literally the kid that like when I was little, I would come home from school or like I was homeschooled, so I would literally just sit and read a mythology encyclopedia, and it was always the Greek section. Like I was that nerdy kid. And like
yes, I vaguely remember I do remember a fondness of Greek mythology as well.
I've always loved it. Something about it resonated.
It's a good story.
They're great stories. They are great stories. And kind of like through my religious path, I kind of like wandered. I tried a little bit here, a little bit there, but nothing really like stuck with me. And one day, like, I was looking up a bunch of different religions and Hellenism was in there. And I was like, well, I really like the gods. Like it was just like a light bulb moment of like, huh.
Oh my God. So, I have like the same story.
So I didn't immediately go for it because I also was like, oh, Druidry is kind of cool. And then I found some free PDFs online of like what Druidry is. And I was like, I learned some things about how I view the world. And it's not the way Druidry views the world, but that's good to know. So I started looking into
Sometimes
Hellenism.
It's good to know what you're not.
Exactly. So I kind of knew like I had like the little like birdie kind of voice in the back of my head, like this is where you need to be.
Oh, Hermes.
Yeah. But I didn't really like go full tilt until I was like, you know what? I was pretty much between researching Druidry and Hellenic paganism, and I was like, Druidry's not for me. So I'm gonna go and just research Hellenic paganism, and like it works. For me, Aphrodite was the first deity that I kind of like reached out to and like came to me, and like it was very much a self-love kind of thing where I was like,
I'm trying to remember mine.
I remember mine vividly. I actually have a picture of the first altar I ever did. It was super pretty.
Do you have screen share privileges?
Let's see. Let me find it on my phone first, because it was actually Valentine's Day, so I don't know if this would be better to share next week. But it was like,
that would be great. We could do altar tours.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, let's do that.
And
done.
Cool. We can do that. And I was like, self-love. I'm going into this like, because like I was in a very bad place in undergrad. Like I didn't feel good, blah 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 blah. And like Hellenism really helped me with that. And like I think Aphrodite
Hearts.
helped me with that because, like, I did a huge ritual and I was like, I am going full force into this. Like, I want to be with you guys. And then after that, she was like, okay, I've helped you. Peace out. And then Dionysus came in. She was like, you learned all you need from me. Like, you have enough.
I love that they tag team. You're not the first person who has said that to me, that they like worked in conjunction. And it
So,
also happened
like,
with me too. So
Aphrodite, I have a soft spot for her because she's the first deity I really interacted with. And that helped. It just gave me confidence in myself being on the right path. And then she was like,
Yes.
I'm here if you need help, but like, she's like, you are not mine. She's like, you're someone else's. And then Dionysus like came in and was like, I'm here, bitches. And I did not expect it because I've always been a very feminine person. I've just always been like, you know, running in the field with a flower crown. And then
Oh my
Dionysus
god,
was like, no,
Dio's
you're mine.
totally like the best gay friend. What are you talking about?
But like, I'd always been like, okay, Dionysus, cool. He's like the god of wine. Like, I never went past that. Like, I knew
Yeah.
the myths, but I never like really went past that. And then he was like, so.
Got it.
So
Yay.
I'm one of his. I actually wear devotional jewelry to him like almost every day.
We were
So
showing
that's
off
what
our
this
Dionysian
is.
emotional devotional jewelry. This one is, if it'll turn around, it's a this way.
That way. Yeah, there we go.
It is a little it's a
Ooh.
skull of a animal who I forgot, and it's actually, this is from, I believe, Hellenic Handmaiden. My friend got it for me, and this is my weed case.
Let's see.
Sorry.
Let me take these out because this will be easier than the necklace.
I do have also the bracelet from Hellenic Handmaiden, and I should
Ooh.
probably get a new one. But
So I have coin
bless her.
earrings and a necklace. Let's see.
Oh, it's perfect.
There we go.
A little shiny.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that
Is that
is
the caduceus, the thing?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
heady stick of Dionysus.
Yes, and I don't know why. I just found this shop and I really liked it. And
It's great.
I don't know if you'll be able to see that. They're little snakes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
I have a divination subscription box that comes like every month, and they did like a past life themed kind of box. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. From where?
It's called Nine of Earth.
Because I was literally thinking about doing devotional care packages, like, or polytheist or pagan care packages at like different, like small price ranges, like
Yeah,
$5, $10, $15, and
that would
like
be fun.
yeah, it would be fun because I'd be able to do custom, and it would be, you get what you get.
That's fun.
But like, yeah, and I didn't know that there was a service that I've seen the moon one, the lunar one.
Yeah,
and I was like,
literally my box
cool.
came today, but I got
ooh,
this. So like
very
that's
nice.
been acted. I always wear it on my thumb because like I have small hands, so it works best on my thumb. But that's my devotional jewelry for Dionysus.
So was there like a reason that you were like, okay, I'm Hellenic polytheist now?
I think
an event, or was it just like
it made sense?
Slow?
I think it was really slow for me because it took a few years for me to decide to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know if there was really like a point that was just like, yes, this is it. But it's just really have to thank Aphrodite for being like, this is a good path for you.
That's so sweet.
Because like I just kept getting confirmation that like this is it. And when you get more into the philosophies behind everything, the cosmology, it just made sense. So
yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, I guess I'm gonna answer it now, and then I actually have to run.
Yeah,
because I have to go get keys to a house that I locked the keys in. Oops. Okay, so what did you do to Hellenism? Again, similarly to you, I had always kept coming back to like the Greek myths, and I'm minorly ashamed to say that I was obsessed with Hercules and Xena. I have seen both series more than once, all the way through. Um, and yes, I do think Xena was better. Um, no, I actually think it got really good. But anyway, and I remember my great aunt actually came to Rhode Island where I was living at the time, and she took me to Barnes and Nobles, which was a very common hangout spot for my family. And I, that just tells you how much there was to do in Rhode Island. And this was a going out thing, to go hang out in. And she was like, "I want to buy you 2 books, whatever books you want." And I was like, "I want this pretty notebook, and I want this book on Greek mythology." And she was like, "I'm gonna get it for you." And I was like, "My mom won't like it." And she's like, "I don't give a shit. She's my great niece, so she can shut up." Like, very politely though. I remember being like, "Emma." That was her name. Oh, that is her name. I don't talk to her anymore. Anyway, so and it just kind of kept following me. And I had a friend who followed the Egyptian pantheon, and they were Wiccan. I think they were, yeah, Wiccan. And they took me to some ADL events actually here. And they obviously they were open to everybody. So I got a lot of exposure to Druidism, and I got a lot of exposure to like Wicca, and like magics. But I was never interested in it. Henceforth, why I did not retain the information. And I was like, it's just, I mean, it's closer, but it's close, but no cigar. Like, it's not there. And then my husband was actually like, at the time, he was like, "You keep coming back to like, you really like mythology and stuff. Like, why don't you look at that?" And then I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "See if anyone worships it." I was like, it never occurred, never in my life had it occurred to me that this was potentially a real thing. And I looked it up, and this is this is where I get embarrassed because this is like my origin story. And like, I remember reading the word Hellenism, and I came across, it was Hellenion that I came across, and I was involved with them for like a long time. But I remember like reading about like Hellenist, and I was like, and I remember saying it out loud. And so help me, I'm so glad that my husband wasn't there at the time, because he would have thought I was possessed. Because I literally, like, this wave, and I can only describe it as this wave of what to me felt like home. It's funny because I remember the first time I answered this question, it was in the forums for Hellenion, and I had to retell the story, and I was like, I don't even know how to like explain, like, what was that even like I don't even. And I was just like, and that actually was when I decided that I was a Hellenic polytheist, because I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And I remember being like, this kind of like, what the fuck, because I had never experienced any sort of religious experience like that in my life.
Yeah.
And I remember being really freaked out by it when it came to the churches that I went to, where I was like, because I'm like, I could never imagine someone speaking in tongues, or in, like, I was like, what the hell? They're having a seizure, call 911. Like, and now I have had enough religious experiences that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's totally believable now. 100%. I'm not even going to blink an eye at it anymore. And it was just this, I have never felt so safe and so like at peace and at home in my life. And it was the start of a glorious taking over of my home decor.
Yeah.
As you can see, sort of.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had a religious experience until I started working with the Hellenic Pantheon, and I think I went, whoa. You know?
Yeah.
And it just made me see the world differently.
It does. I remember I actually went back to my grandmother and went, like, I remember holding her, I'm like, Grandma, I'm gonna tell you about my religion, okay? And she's like, okay. And I told her, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I get it now. Like, I understand, like, I get it. And I understand why you're so religious, and like what you mean when she talks about like speaking with God and like whatever. I'm like, not the same phone number, but I understand
Yeah.
the phone directory now.
Yeah. I think just
Um,
finding that just solidifies it.
It does. And I think we're done.
I think so.
We're running out of time. I'm sorry, guys. This is great. This was awesome. I love that we were
Yeah.
like, let's do this thing and we're just gonna try it out. And like, I
Yeah.
think
That's how the best things start.
yeah, I'm very much of a perfect is the enemy of done.
Yes.
And my job, my mission, my everything that is Hellenic Herald is to just share more information, encourage more dialogue, and put more shit out there, because I remember when I was new and I found videos and I was like, oh, thank God I'm not fucking crazy.
Me too.
It was like, it was, as you said, very solidifying in your beliefs.
Yeah.
And so I would love to contribute to that. And I'm
Yeah.
very, very grateful to have you on with me and discuss and share your point of views and your
Yeah.
experiences. And I hope that answered 5 questions.
5, maybe something like that. We have a big list though, so
it's a big list. Yeah. So I'll see you on the Discord, and we'll see everyone again on next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Woo! Thank you so much, and like, bye. I have to go run now.
Bye.